All right, what's up, everybody? It's your boy John here with DJ Fab and New Orleans Saints kicker Blake Grupe in the house. Uh, so what's up, Blake? How you doing today?
Man, I'm doing good. It's been fun bouncing around and checking out tables. I'm glad I was able to find a little Morgan City connection here today.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're in the off season. How's the off season been going for you?
It's been going good. Stayed down here a little more. I haven't taken any big trips at all, but right after the Super Bowl, I think we're going to gear up some training and start kicking the ball a little bit. So it's about to start ramping up.
Yes, sir. So I want to get back. I want to get into like a little bit of your history because I follow the Saints a lot. Being that it's my favorite team, and I remember when they brought you in. Was that last year?
2 years
Two
ago.
years ago, yeah. And you had a kicking battle with Will Lutz. Did you kind of feel like you had a chip on your shoulder? Going in trying to prove yourself as an undrafted rookie.
Yeah, for sure. I think coming into that situation there, you kind of have to have a chip on your shoulder.
Right.
Not necessarily an arrogant and cocky way, but like more of a feeling like you belong and that you're ready for that moment and that you can do this. So if you don't have it, I don't believe you really have a chance. So I came in and Will is obviously a great kicker. He's done it for 2 years in a row now in Denver. So. I came in and I just tried to put my best foot forward and try to give him no choice other than to stick around. So
right. So what was that competition like? Did he put a little pressure on you, make it a little hard for you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like I said, Will's a good kicker. Mm-hmm. So every day of practice, I knew. So we'd alternate days, and so I knew when it was his day, he was gonna probably make all of his kicks and go perfect. And so I knew tomorrow when it was my day that that was the standard. I didn't really have a choice. So we both were honestly operating at a very high level. And so because if I wasn't, it wouldn't even been a competition at all. So we both pushed each other. I really just at the end of the day I knew I had no choice other than to do well or else I wasn't going to be around.
Right. So. You go into your rookie year, and it was an okay rookie year for you. And then you go into now, like, do you see improvements from yourself from rookie year into now?
Yeah, and I wouldn't say anything crazy when it comes to big physical improvements or like I put on a bunch of weight or a bunch of muscle. It's all really mental and routine. I feel like is where you kind of go from being good to great. Not letting any opportunity rattle you or just learning how to deal with certain situations, whether it's outdoor and wind or being on the road. There's a lot of different elements that goes with being an NFL kicker. It's not just rolling up and playing on Sundays. You got to prepare your body better. There's all kinds of stuff you got to learn and just kind of work with and learn how to get yourself ready to do the best job on Sunday. And I feel like that was kind of the bigger jump that I made was off the field stuff, preparing myself to play on Sundays in year two.
I got a question for you. What team and place you look forward to playing against?
Honestly, I wouldn't say there's one in particular. Any indoor game I'm always a fan of. But those Monday Night Football games seem to always be special. I've had I think 3 of them now. And so there's just an extra heightened sense of energy and enthusiasm and when you're the only game on Monday night, there's no hiding, so you got to go out there and do your job. But those Monday Night Football games are always fun and I really enjoy playing in those.
Are you guys rebuilding right now? I know with the off season and how things went this season, and then with the staff changing, I know it plays a big role. But are you guys all rebuilding in different areas that you need?
Yeah, a lot of people are a lot of different places right now after the season. Everybody kind of splits up and either goes to where they off season or everybody goes about the off season their own way. Me personally, next week, once the Super Bowl gets out of here and the city calms back down, I'm going to start really working in and starting training again. And I really have no intel or that keeps us in the dark. At least me personally, I don't know a whole lot about who's coming in and who's interviewed and all that kind of stuff. I always tell people if you want to know what I know, check Twitter. So. I'm sure a decision will probably be made, after the Super Bowl clears out of here, and all I know is I'm excited to get in there and get to work with somebody new, and whoever that may be. All I know is I'm going to put my best foot forward and put the work in.
So we he talked about like the staff change at the beginning, at the in the middle of the year, and Darren Rizzi took over, a person that you probably had a lot of connections with, being that he was the special teams coach before he took over. The team kind of turned around a little bit under his direction. What would you say he brought to the team as far as helping the team turn around? And,
mid-season like that, for it to be going the way it did, obviously nobody's a fan of that. Nobody wants that to happen. So, having Riz take over the ship, mid-season, I guess it just kind of that, mid-season with everything that's going on, it brought another level of, energy that might have been missing for a couple weeks. He drove home the fact of just being prepared and just telling us that we're going to be ready on Sundays, and he's going to do his part to make sure we're feeling the best on Sundays. And at certain points of time this year, I feel like that's really all you could ask for, is to, guys not to give up, and guys to always, just go out there and play hard. I mean, that's pretty much all we could do at some points this year. For me personally, there's some changes just on how we did meetings. Obviously, he still ran special teams, did everything like that, but just the schedule throughout the day changed a little bit, but it was really awesome seeing him kind of move into a different leadership role and being at the top there. It was fun, and I know he enjoyed it, and I really wish him well, and honestly hope he gets the head job here. So we'll see.
That's what's up. How did you get into the kicking? How did you get into that, and then who do you compare yourself as a kicker?
Yeah. So my mom and dad were both college athletes. They went to Southeast Missouri State. My mom went there to be a gymnast. My dad actually went there to go play soccer, and then they actually cut the soccer program. Wow. And so he walked onto the football team. And it's funny, he never played it down. And so, but that was my start. I mean, he introduced me to kicking, and I played Pee Wee football, but kicking Pee Wee, and then I didn't touch football again, competitively until my sophomore year. I started kicking again in high school, and at that case, it was really just me showing up on Fridays. I didn't really. I played soccer and football in Missouri, both in the fall, so I would do everything soccer. I actually missed a game. I think it was one game a year for football because I had a soccer tournament or something. And so my plan always was to go play college soccer until I ended up had one walk-on offer, and I was like, well, a lot of people care about college football compared to college soccer, so I took that one walk-on offer and ran with it, and really had no idea what I was getting myself into, like the whole off-season training and weightlifting. I put on like 15 pounds. Wow. I'm obviously not a big guy, but imagine me right now minus 15 pounds, muscle. Like that's a big. I was 135 pounds when I showed up to college. Wow. So put a lot of work in there and figured it out along the way, and made a lot of mistakes along the way. I've also done a lot of good things. So it's just led me to where I'm at today, and that's all I can keep doing is continue to keep working and keep fighting and see what happens.
Any kickers out there that you compare, like?
There's obviously not. There's a lot. There's some that are huge, like the Chiefs kicker Bucker. He's probably 6'4", 6'5", and me being 5'8", a little bit of a difference there. But there's Cairo Santos in Chicago is another guy closer to my size. Jake Elliott for the Eagles is another guy kind of closer to being on the closer to what I do. And I have Jake Bates and Cam Little, who are both my buddies that are kicking across the league in Detroit and Jacksonville. So those are guys I know throughout the league, and we bounce ideas off of every once in a while. But everybody, it's not a cookie cutter position. There's a little bit of uniqueness to how you and your body works. So that's kind of how I've worked around it, and I always just kind of figured it out myself. And like I said earlier, I just found a way, and here we are. Yep.
What's it like being in the locker room with stars like Alvin Kamara and Cam Jordan?
Yeah, AK's my locker mate. I mean, AK's sitting at his locker just like he is, So it was definitely a little starstruck when you first get there, and you just watch him walking, like they're just normal people deep down, and so to see them in that environment is just just at work, just like you guys are right now. But they're all great guys. I never had a problem with anybody in the locker room. But don't get me wrong, like it's like holy cow. Every once in a while, you're like, that's Alvin Kamara right here. It's crazy. It's great, and seeing opposing teams' players, walk pregame. And remember that first preseason game I was in, like Mahomes was doing his pregame walk right in front of me, like just walked right in front of me, and I was trying to do mine, and I'm like wow. I mean, holy cow, So, that's something I definitely got a little bit more used to. But every once in a while, I'm like holy, look at that. Why not? Yeah, but also I got to go about my business. So there was a little bit of that, and seeing those guys and seeing how they operate. But at the end of the day, they're players just like you are. Right. So you go out there and do your job, and they're probably gonna do theirs.
Right. So you grew up in Missouri, and you went to Notre Dame for college. So how has it been, adapting to New Orleans and kind of like South Louisiana?
Yeah, South Bend and New Orleans are a long way apart, and they're completely different ends of the spectrum when it comes to where to live. Up there, 8-10 inches of snow like we got down here the other day. That's just a normal. That's a January. Yeah, I mean that was crazy. But that was just like that's just a normal day in January having that much snow up there. But yeah, coming from Arkansas State to Notre Dame felt like just like a huge step. You know what I mean? And rising up, I guess the ladder. But going from Notre Dame to the NFL, just taking that step to Notre Dame, that step to the NFL made it that much smaller. So. It prepared me for everything that I was able to go and do, year one, and it really felt like no moment was too big for me once I was there, and so it definitely prepared me to, be in the NFL, and honestly, I'm not sure that I would be able to make that if I was to leave Arkansas State to go straight to the NFL. I'm not sure I would have been able to make it just going through some of the stuff I did in Notre Dame.
That's what's up. With the Super Bowl coming up Sunday, any predictions?
Predictions?
I mean, out of the two teams.
Kansas City going for the three-peat is insane. But Philly with Saquon Barkley, he's been running the ball like crazy this year.
Like old school.
Yeah, he's running right through you, and he'll jump over you backwards. Like what in the world? Yeah. So obviously both teams are operating at a high level. I actually talked to Harrison a little earlier this week, and Bucker, and he was asking about just getting the lowdown of turf and playing here. He's played here before.
Yeah, because there is a difference.
Yeah,
right?
But he's a mad scientist. Harrison's very serious about what he does. He's a mad scientist, so he's just getting a little bit of a breakdown on New Orleans and I guess the Superdome, getting used to it in there. So I guess being a Missouri boy, I guess I'll go with Kansas City.
Y'all heard it.
So I guess we'll see, but. Obviously I wish that was us, and maybe one day we'll get that opportunity.
That's what's up.
All right, before we let you go, I just got one last question. So Notre Dame was in the national championship. How did it feel, to know that they were able to make it that far, and then when they got in the game, it got out of hand a little bit late, and then they were able to fight back. So how did you feel about seeing Notre Dame?
Yeah, they haven't. I think it's been 40-some years since they won a Natty, which unfortunately nobody wants to wait that long. But the last national championship they were in, they played Alabama, and so I guess knowing Freeman was my coach. A lot of the same special teams coaches and players were there when I was there. I actually got to go to the Sugar Bowl. Derek Carr gave us a suite to go to the Sugar Bowl this year when they played Georgia.
How was that experience?
That's freaking cool, and so, being able to watch them climb the ladder, and nobody knew what was going to happen with the playoff, the 12-team playoff this year, and obviously wish they would have won, and but Ohio State was a dang good team. So yeah, obviously I wish we would have won, but I don't think that'll be the only one they'll be in. They got a lot of good players up there, and I'm a believer in Coach Freeman, so we'll see how that goes in the coming years, and so we'll see.
Thank you for stopping on by, man. We wish you guys luck on the new season. And how did it say? Go Saints.
That's right, man. Thank you.
Yeah, bro. We appreciate you once again for stopping by. And, I'm a huge Saints fan, been a diehard Saints fan since I was little. So, having you stop by is kind of like a wild moment for me.
It's a real moment.
I appreciate you guys having me. I want to shout out the Ghost of Morgan City and Booker Zaffe. I don't know if you know him around the city, but he's a character, so I just want to say what's up, Boo, and shout out the Ghost of Morgan City.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.